Hey YouTube, it's Korda1990, and today I have a deck collection video. So this isn't like just a deck tech video for a deck here. This is kind of showcasing my collection of Rage CCG decks that I currently have made. I have a couple more in the making. I want to make at least one more deck for the Guru and one more deck for the Wyrm characters, or the good guys and the bad guys, even though they're all kind of bad and evil from what I'm kind of getting. Anyway, I figured I would do videos like this because this week I am going to be showcasing all of the, well, I wouldn't say all, but showcasing decks I have for a lot of dead card games that I really like to collect, either for gameplay reasons or artwork. This one is mainly just artwork. The gameplay, for me personally, from what I found, is kind of one-dimensional. But I mean, it's still fun. It's definitely a fun game to play. It's not super in-depth like Middle Earth CCG or the Star Wars or Star Trek. You basically just play dudes, or they're already out. You put stuff on them, you throw them in the middle, and you just have kind of like a big brawl or fight in the middle of the table. It's pretty much what I'm noticing is going on in this game. Also, the rules that come in the starter decks are horribly written. I had to do a lot of research online to kind of really get an understanding of this game. But anyway, all that aside, this is still a game I really enjoy. I haven't really spent a whole lot of money in this. I haven't bought any sealed product. I eventually want to do a sealed box of the Wyrm, which is where like these guys come from on the channel because it's my favorite set. But yeah, these are just my favorite decks that I have. I went and looked through all the clans and everything, and these two were the ones that stood out the most, with one other for each side being a secondary thing. And I'm still trying to accumulate some cards, but mainly these decks are just made off of buying random collections off eBay or Category 1 games, and just buying random singles, mainly combat deck stuff, because you need a lot of copies of those cards because they're universally good for pretty much every deck. But I'll set these three aside for now. I'll go over my my Bonar's deck. Like, I'm not going to go over really the reasons why I have the cards in here that I have. I will say all of these decks are set for a 30 renown limit instead of the like normal 20 or whatever the rulebook was saying, 20 or 25. I have all these set at 30 because I want the game to last a little longer. But yeah, this is just kind of stuff that synergizes well with him, and just generically just good like gift cards. These are like your if you play Magic, think of these as like enchant auras for the most part, and they do a thing. This game's really weird too. You take like your main phase, everyone takes it all at the same time, because for the most part there's not cards that like really mess with your opponent when they're playing things. Most of this stuff happens in the combat round, which is where it gets back and forth. But like cards like these and things you draw out of your like the Sept deck or the draw deck, you play all of these things at the same time as all your opponents. It's a little weird, but you know, it is what it is. And most of my decks tend to play a similar like action kind of like package. I know this card's like errated or changed or something. I don't care. I'm going to play how things are written for this game because I'm not really playing this game with anyone. And all my decks have either 7 enemies or 7 victims, 2 different types, and then like a main big one to go after the kill that's worth a lot of points. More or less anyway. And then all of them play this like combo pack attack type card too. There's one for the bad guys, or the good guys that attack the bad guys, and there's ones for the bad guy that attack the like good guy. Some of the card names I am not going to mention on my channel due to just trying to keep the language clean. But this game is crazy. The artwork is incredibly brutal, and it's old school, and I love it. And man, this game, just in my opinion, would never be made today with some of the stuff that's going on in here. Like, look at that dude's like holding his intestines, like curb stomp, like good old Ron Spencer. Some of Ron Spencer's best artwork is in this game, in my opinion. And well, let's look at that too. Yeah, there's definitely some cards I'm just not going to say. And like I said, with today's restrictions and people's sensitivities being, well, very sensitive, yeah, there's just no way some of these cards would be made. People would complain. Like, that one for sure is one of them. Yeah, and then this deck, this is my Shadow Lord's deck. This is my favorite deck I have. I actually really like this character quite a bit, especially her flip side. So if you didn't know, they have like a human form, and when they take enough damage and get pissed off enough, they like switch into their cool like werewolf form, and this guy's got like a machine gun. Really, the only reason why I got this card is for this artwork on the back. Turns out he's actually pretty cool. Anna Kliminski is awesome too. And she like starts the game with this like crazy knife that makes all of her damage unhealable for the most part. This pack is also huge too, because it has a lot of lower cost characters. So like the pack attack card, you can kind of go crazy with it. And I also found like this insane card that I debated taking it out due to the power level of it, because it basically just makes one of your opponent's dudes go to 1 and then you just kill him, which isn't really like the funnest thing to do. But I mean, it's kind of cool. You can only play it once per game. You can only use it once. Like, you know, whatever. If you get it, you get it. Fang dagger is cool. Also like the artwork on this quite a bit. And then, yeah, there's that cool knife that she starts with. And then, like, Fang necklace. And, like, there's cards that I would like more copies of that I don't play. Like, I don't really have a lot of rare attack cards, because some of them are like 10, 15 bucks a piece, which was just kind of a little too steep for me for this game. Granted, I know I dropped like 20 bucks on this card, or 15 or whatever it was, and this dude was like 8 or 10, but I'm not gonna like juice up one attack deck and then not do all the others. Because like I said, these are all universal cards. All the attack things can pretty much be played in all the other decks. So I'd rather put my money in the like specialized cards for, you know, the certain deck. I also really like the artwork in this picture. This artist in particular, I don't really think I've seen much of them before this game. Yeah, what's your name? John Cobb? Yeah, you're awesome. Yeah, I love everything you do in this game. It's just, it's all creepy and like nightmarish, but also kind of like whimsical in the same sense. Where's some other stuff? I looked at one of them. It was in this deck. It's the dude like holding a broken arm. Yeah. Gosh, and just look at the colors and how vibrant it is. Even everything they do is pretty much monochromatic, but awesome. I'm a huge fan of your work, and I am glad I found this game just to enjoy said work that you've done. And yeah, their totem's cool looking too. Grandfather Thunder, kind of like a Thor looking thing. But yeah, there's like the similar package here as well, you know. Trying to just keep things, you know, if I play all the broken cards on all the decks, then they're really not really all that broken, I guess. And then probably my favorite card in this whole game is Nexus Crawler, because, well, Ron Spencer being Ron Spencer. This is hands down my favorite artwork he's done too. Like, this is just so cool. Again, this game is where Ron Spencer shined, in my opinion. And it's funny because I never knew this game even existed until like a year ago. But, gosh, just look at that. Dude's also crazy. He's worth 17 points. He's also incredibly difficult to kill. But, I mean, if you make your dude go frenzy and you just, like, kind of commit to it, you can get there, which is what this deck wants to do. Well, maybe not do the whole frenzy thing, but you definitely want to just commit to that dude and kill him. And I don't know if there's, like, a limit to which one you could play. I play both of them because they're both different, even though they have the same name. I don't know. If that's wrong, I'm sure someone will let me know, and I have a bajillion other enemies I can swap out, but it's kind of cool because the Formy all, or whatever the heck they're called, they all combine for pack defense, so if you attack one, you're attacking, like, you're getting attacked by all of them. If all 6 have the same name, they kind of just, like, gang up on you. Again, if that's wrong, please just let me know, but I might just keep it anyway because the artwork's different, the stats are different, one's stronger than the other, but one has more health. So, yeah, it is what it is. And again, here's that attack in the Wyrm card I was talking about. And then, yeah, this kind of similar attack stuff. And when I shopped on Category 1 games, I just bought like 8 copies of all the attack cards that I like the artworks on. That also did a decent amount of damage, too. Because, you know, that matters. And so that was my, like, good guy decks. I was working on, like, a Silver Lords one, but their main dude just is insane. The Albrecht King guy, I have like his King version, and he like goes straight to Rage 10. He always attacks first, like his damage stuff gets dealt first, and it seemed incredibly unfair. So I'm kind of rethinking about what to do. I might do like a Children of Gaia and do like a voting or a moot style deck. We'll see. And for the bad guy decks, this is my Black Spiral Dancer deck, and this is one of my favorite decks. This one's definitely my number one. This is a very close second though, because just, dude, look at how brutal this is. This guy's got spikes coming out everywhere. And the name of this guy is crazy too, Longtooth Soul Killer. Yeah, that is just, it's a meatus, so it doesn't change from form to form. But I mean, come on, like Hunts at Night, Ren's the Innocent, Jason O'Kelly or Elvis. This old one-eye thing, which turns in this crazy thing with like this bone sword. I don't know. This deck's cool too. If you couldn't tell, I made all my sleeves match the like color of whatever their pack is. And I like this deck. It just wants to soup up one dude and just throw them in there and just go straight to town on someone. And Bully Quest is a cool card. There's a little interaction with this. This deck can make you go frenzy, but I have an attack card in here that can't. Yeah, Fast Strike. It does its damage first. And with Bully Quest, if you kill something before they do damage to you, you gain the bonus points. So you kind of want to be a bully to the family pet. Just murder the family pet to gain more points. So it makes a 2-cost thing into four points, which is kind of cool. And yeah, again, just kind of the, you know, similar generically good cards. Popping a dude in, popping a dude out, and putting a different dude in. And again, like one bigger enemy or victims, as the bad guy cards are called. And then 2 sets of 3 for some other ones. Just so, like in this game, I didn't really run a lot of these at first, and I found my games being incredibly dull. It's just you attacking the other person, and that's just all there is. There isn't really a whole lot of interaction. So when you play a decent amount of enemies and victims in your decks, it just gives players more options to choose from on who to attack, and it adds a little layer of depth to the game. And yeah, this is a card I'm just gonna leave it there. No way in hell would that ever get printed in a game today, man. I think it's hilarious for that reason. Oh man, all my bad guy decks are running that card. There's no reason not to. It's basically the same version as attacking the Wyrm for the good guys. And then yeah, Frenzy makes like your werewolf pissed off. Basically, it won't die, even if it takes enough damage to die, until you run out of a combat hand. So it's like kind of just going and going and going and going. Hence why this dude's got like swords and arrows all stuck through him. This card's insane. I know this is like a common or an uncommon, because there's like some rares that do way more damage than this. But I kind of like this as being the peak damage card I have. That way you're not just making a deck that's just all about just one-shotting people, and it's not really all that great. Again, Vital Blow. Look at that. Ron Spencer goodness. And this is like almost in every deck I have. I have like 15 or 16 copies of that card alone. Septum Crushed, more good Ron Spencer. Like I said, Ron Spencer did so much for this game. There's that person again too, John Cobb. Really hope I'm pronouncing John Cobb or K. My eyes are bad, but yeah, love it. Like, what is that dude even doing? There's another card. It's called like Dodge, and it's a werewolf doing some crazy little stance like that, and it's hilarious. I can't remember if I'm playing it in one of my decks or not. I don't think I'm playing Dodge. No, I took Dodge out for a block and strike. But anyway. So this is the last deck I have to show. This is my other Wyrm deck. And basically these are all, I don't want to say they're people, because I don't know what that is, but they don't look like a people. That's a horse. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's a person. Basically, these are all people who appear to be one thing, but when they turn to their monster form, they're completely something else. So it's like this crazy spider thing instead of this like kid, or this whatever that is from that, and somehow a horse turns into a skeleton, or is that, yeah, and then like this dude turns into some crazy looking shadow thing. I love the artwork on this card. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip that one. And yeah, Sanic or whatever his name is. That picture is amazing. Look at that. Gosh, it just looks like a graphic novel picture. And yeah, when I saw this, like a business dude turn into that, I had to make a deck around this. basically this deck, the theme with it is I made it to be annoying. It's like, it's supposed to be really, really difficult to kill this guy. Whenever he takes damage, he can go into the Umbra, which is like this like mystical world, and people can't just go there. There's cards that you play that allow you to go there and then bring you back. And so when he's here, he kind of chills out by himself and he heals. And when he's ready, you have the, this is the Karens are what make you go to and from. And so when he's back to normal, you can bring him back and then do it all over again. And I play a bunch of meat puppets, and then there's ways to bring them into your pack to help defend and so on and so forth. And most of these people are humans, so I give them bulletproof vests. This is like another attack avoidance card. And again, bully quest type stuff. And the usual same generic good cards that all decks have. And then my one bigger guy, and then 2 sets of 3. You can like kill a playground full of kids, which is hilarious. In like a really messed up sort of way. And then again, there's that. And then, yeah, like Shield Mate and Block and Strike. You can like block damage and then fight back. So when people are like with the newspaper vendor dude, which I just noticed this one's bent. So I have another one that's not bent, so I'll probably replace it. But you can like block the attack and then attack back and then score points off of Bully Quest. Try speed out an early win. And then again, just more generic, good, common, uncommon attack cards that are pretty much in every other deck. This one too, it plays a lot of lower rage attack cards because of the character's rage. It's somewhat lower. And again, like a rage stat is like there's no resources in this game. There's limiters to what you can play, and rage stat is like a limiter. So like this guy can't play anything higher than rage 5. And when he flips, he still stays at rage 5. Though some characters, like Anna Kliminski, goes from a rage 3 to a rage 9. And then there's ways to get her to rage 10. In this deck, well, Longtooth Soul Killer, he starts out good. That's like the bonus to playing Amidas. And so I have cards that get Soul Killer to rage 10 to play other stuff. But yeah, and then there's just like a lot of this one-shot things that typically have bad abilities put on you because they're high damage for low rage, especially over extended attack. But yeah, I play a lot enough blocking stuff in this deck to make that work. But anyway, that is my rage deck collection for now. Anyway, when I have more time, I'll invest some more resources in finishing those other 2 decks. Eventually, I want to have maybe 4 decks of each type, really just like flush it out. I think this is a great game for people who don't really play card games. It's super simple to understand and play once you know how the rules work. So if you're being taught by someone who knows this game well, anyone can pick this game up in just a couple minutes. And it just makes for a good time. Just have some friends over, invite them over for a game night, get a couple beers going, and just have fun beating the living snot out of each other. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So catch my video tomorrow. I think I am doing either my Middle Earth CCG decks or I will do my Jihad decks. And all those, like the Jihad decks, they only use cards from the first booster set. I don't use cards from anything else. None of the Black Chancery stuff or anything. It's literally just cards from the first set. And it's actually all my decks. I have a deck for every like vampire class. They're all built from 1 booster box of packs and 1 box of sealed starters. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.